As long as I stick to the script, I'm protected.
I'll make sure my husband doesn't talk to him.
Yeah.
Is Birkhoff guiding romance this year because he's going to be working with someone?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you know where they left it. They left it with the kiss and the potential for something to happen. And when the first episode begins, it's a bit of a time jump, not a long time jump, but I think several months, something like that. And something has happened between them to complicate the situation. So I mean, you know, what are you gonna do? You need conflict. So that's where it's gonna be, and hopefully it will build to a point where they can once again unite in romantic bliss.
I personally think it was some difficult times last time he was in division. So do you think, will he have any emotional or psychological issues?
I think that's going to come up. I mean, I think right now, the way it's been sold to everybody and the way it's been presented, that this is not, you know, this isn't your father's division. You know, I mean, this is the new division, and the rules are different, and everyone's been sold on that. You know, you're coming in, it's very egalitarian. Everyone is essentially a free agent, but it is it's a military situation, so people are going to have to start following chain of command again, you know, and it's what's going to happen there. It's going to be a giant power struggle. Like, do I want Ryan to be my boss? Does Nikita want Ryan to be her boss? Does Nikita think she's Michael's boss? Like, who, you know, I think that's going to cause some more conflict. Which we love.
I personally think your character has had just the most growth, you know, since season 1. So, is there anything you really, really want to see Birkhoff do in season 3, especially with all the changes?
You know, I'm just really happy that he was expanded as much as he was in season 2. You know, because he was. I think he was an interesting character in season 1, but he really was limited. And in the second season, you saw they just blew it wide open for him, and there was a lot of great character development, a lot of great development in his relationships with him, and I just hope they do more of that in season 3. I haven't thought of any one specific thing that I would really like, but I just like to see more. You know.
Where's he going to live?
They haven't specified that, but he lost all of his money, and both of his other homes have been blown up. You know, so I think he's like probably couch crashing in division, or maybe he's got like a studio apartment somewhere or something. I don't know. I mean, he did get that $1 million, but knowing Birkhoff, I think he probably blew through that pretty quickly. So I don't know where he's living.
Well, he's had like the beach house, the woods house.
Yeah, he can't afford that anymore. The money's gone. He burned it.
So he's got a box.
He's got a box.
He has skills. Any chance he might get some more money?
You know, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. That might be something cool to do in the season, that he gets tempted and starts to backslide and go back to his old ways. But no, I hadn't thought of that. That'd be cool.
Since he's kind of like the brains behind a lot of the division stuff, and they're going to need that again, but he seems to be kind of like the weakest link because he can't protect himself. Do you think he wants to like secretly train to kind of be able to say, hey, next time somebody snatches me or tries to force me, I can deal with this situation?
You know, he's definitely a punching bag, and they like to kidnap him and, you know, beat him up and torture him and everything else. But, you know, I'm not sure how clear this has been in the series, but what you're supposed to get is that Birkhoff did have to go through like basic training. He had to go through basic division training. Now, he didn't go through advanced training the way somebody like Nikita or Michael would go through, but you're supposed to see in some of these events when they've attempted to snatch him that he fights back, and, you know, when he's sparring with Michael, and you're supposed to see that he can kind of handle himself. But the bottom line is, you know, he's not Owen. He's not a cleaner, you know, and he's not Michael, and he's always going to be like a physical inferior to the rest of these people. He makes up for it with his mind, you know. So they have to protect him physically, and the idea is that he protects them with his intelligence.
In that one scene where
he was losing his money. He froze and he didn't kill the money. So do you think he sort of also just blames himself a little
For the fact that what?
That he lost his money? I mean, maybe if he shot the guy, they would have gotten out the door on time.
No. What was happening? Oh, do you think he blames himself for that? I mean, I think he blamed himself for going along with the whole thing in the first place. I think he felt like he knew better than to do it. But the idea is he's forgiven and forgotten, and the moment with him freezing up and not being able to shoot that guy, I mean that was supposed to be about some reticence he had because of killing Carla, and you're supposed to see by the end of the episode that he sort of overcomes that, and he realizes that in this world that he's chosen to be in this game that he's chosen to be a part of, that's part of it. Murder and killing and death is part of that world. And he makes the decision to jump in and accept it.
So what would be interesting for you to do as a
Well, I always love when they get him out in the field. I love whenever I'm able to get away from the computer screen and away from some exposition and really get out and do something. That's what I really enjoy. So I'd love to see more of that this season.